I'm posting this because I need to get it out of my head, and I don't know who else to tell. I work as a freelance data technician. Last week, I took a short contract to babysit a seismic monitoring station deep in the Cascades. It was an isolated gig, just me, a small cabin, and a bank of computers monitoring geophones buried in the surrounding forest. The first 3 days were dead quiet. The lines on the monitors were flat, but on the fourth night, the sensors picked up something impossible. Around 7 p.m., the needles started jumping. It wasn't the chaotic scramble of an earthquake. It was rhythmic. Thump, thump, thump. It looked like footsteps, but for the sensors to register them that strongly, the source would have to weigh tons. And here's the kicker. All 4 sensors, which were buried hundreds of yards apart, were spiking at the exact same time. Whatever was causing the vibration wasn't walking around the cabin. It was underneath it, deep down. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat in the dark, listening. Around 3 a.m., the sensors went flat, but the sound didn't stop. It moved. Knock, knock, knock. It came from directly beneath my chair. A polite, gentle rapping on the underside of the floorboards. The cabin sits on a solid, poured concrete foundation. There is no crawl space. There is no basement, just solid rock. I sat there, frozen, waiting for the floor to crack open. I didn't move until the sun came up. I packed my gear immediately. I grabbed the USB drive with the data logs and bolted. I just wanted to get back to civilization. But as I was driving down the gravel service road, I had to slam on the brakes. A fissure had opened up across the road overnight. It was a jagged crack in the earth, maybe 3 feet wide. I got out to look, and the smell hit me instantly. It didn't smell like dirt. It smelled like stale, recycled air, like a room that hadn't been opened in decades. I leaned over the edge, staring into the blackness. That's when I heard it. Click, clack, click. It sounded like typing, fast, mechanical typing, echoing up from the hole. I got back in my truck and drove through the ditch to get around it. I didn't stop until I was back in the city. Last night, I finally looked at the data on the USB drive. I wanted to prove to myself that the footsteps were real. The files were there. But when I analyzed the waveform of the vibrations, I realized why they were synchronized. It wasn't a physical impact. It was a sound wave traveling through the rock. I sped the audio up to bring it into human hearing range. It wasn't a monster. It was a voice. It was my voice. The earth had recorded me talking to myself in the cabin over the last 3 days. Damn, out of coffee. Just 2 more days. The vibrations were the ground mimicking me, repeating my words back, syllable for syllable, practicing my cadence. I live on the 2nd floor of an apartment complex now. I thought I was safe. But this morning, while I was shaving, I felt a tiny buzz against my feet, and then a sound drifting up from the drain in the sink. Knock, knock, knock.